Paul Jewell's stay in the Premier League is over, and Reading's 2-year stay in the league is under very serious threat here. So ahead of what's sure to be an agonising 90 minutes for Reading supporters, here are the lineups. And Paul Jewell makes 4 changes to the Derby team beaten at Blackburn last weekend. Wide men Mile Stejovski and David Jones return, with fullbacks Andy Todd and Jay McEverley out. Lewin Nyatanga's back from his loan spell at Barnsley and replaces Miles Addison in defence. And Argentinian striker Emmanuel Villas preferred up front to Robbie Earnshaw. Teenage striker Paris Simmons makes the bench. 3 changes for Reading. Kevin Doyle pays the price for his failure to score in 20 matches. His place on the right is taken by John Oster. Skipper Graham Nerty returns at right back in place of Liam Rosenior, while in midfield Marek Matejowski replaces Andre Biquet. Can this lineup end the Royals' miserable goal drought? Well, there is Lewin Nyatanga straight back into the Derby lineup after his loan spell at Championship side Barnsley. Well, it's a beautiful sunny day in the East Midlands. Only one of Fulham, Birmingham or Reading can remain in this division. The other 2 will join Derby in the Championship next season. And there's the referee, Mike Riley. Will it be one of his decisions that alters the course of this game? Reading have to focus on getting a result here and then hope that Fulham, who start the day just outside the bottom 3 on goal difference, slip up at Portsmouth. Who will keep their nerve? Who wants it the most? 3,500 travelling Reading fans have brought just about anything inflatable they can find, hoping to inflate their own league position above Fulham today. A short sleeve order very much today. Beautiful warm sunshine, warm and humid in fact. Sure, Steve Coppell's feeling hot under the collar. His expression never changes. As always, starting the day in the director's box. It's sapping, draining weather for the players. Derby intend to sign off from the Premier League on a high to reward their fans here at Pride Park. Reading will have to work hard for their victory and hope the result on the south coast goes their way. And is it any surprise that the players indulge in a little pre-match huddle? One of the biggest 90 minutes in Reading's history coming right up. So Derby County to kick off. High stakes, high drama. Reading's fate comes down to 90 minutes here in the East Midlands and 190 miles away in Portsmouth. A win here, coupled with a draw or a defeat for Fulham, would leave Steve Coppell's men celebrating a 3rd Premier League campaign. Even a draw would be enough if Fulham lose. And there's a 3rd possibility too. If they both slip up, then Birmingham City could leapfrog the pair of them. And Trevor, it's impossible to predict the outcome here.
Yes, good afternoon, as we see Reading immediately on the attack. It's a very hot afternoon, the hottest day of the year. Temperatures touching 30 in the shade. And I'm sure it's going to have a big factor on this game this afternoon. A huge onus on the players to try and keep possession as often as possible. It's not a day for players who play with high energy because the hot conditions will just not permit it. We've got a contrast in the 2 teams, of course, this afternoon. Stevie Coppell's Reading living on their nerves. As for Derby, a very relaxed approach, as you would expect for a side who have had a particularly dismal campaign this year.
Well, in fact, these 2 teams have lost a total of 50 Premier League matches between them this season. And the supporters have had to put up with a lot of misery, but there could yet be A happy ending for Royals fans. Their focus has to be on winning here. But you can be sure news from Fratton Park and St Andrews will filter down through the stands to the players. A day for cool heads. Murty back in the side, the Reading skipper. Kitson back to Harper. Hunt. Couldn't get away from Tyrone Mears. And Larson with the challenge. Well, Pride Park sold out for the 7th consecutive game. 3,500 travelling Reading supporters who have made plenty of noise in the last hour.
Just a word about the shape of the two teams here this afternoon. They're both playing with a 4-4-2 formation. Reading lacking in goals. Surprising when you consider they've got Kitson and Leiter up front, and players like Doyle, who's on the bench, and Long, who's not amongst the 16 today. I think many a club in the Premiership would like to have those 4 players at their disposal.
Yep, over 9 hours since Reading last scored a goal. That has come at exactly the wrong time. Over the top by Mears, straight through to Marcus Hanneman. And Kenny Miller, the target of that long ball. And Dave Kitson there at the other end. Just 1 goal in his last 16 appearances. Well, it's the Reading supporters you're hearing. And Paul Jewell certainly had plenty of support from the Derby County fans. This campaign pays a glowing tribute to them in the programme today. Over 20,000 season ticket renewals for next season, even though they'll be in the Championship. Howell Reading would love an early goal here. And out of play by Hunt. There's Lewin Nyatanga. Arrived back from his loan spell this week, straight into the starting lineup. Gali just beaten to the ball by Matejowski, and through for Leiter. Oh, and Roy Carroll did so well there. And flag stayed down against Leiter.
Well, the first opportunity of the game has fallen to Reading, and it was alert keeping from Carroll that denied Leroy Leiter. Problem came in the middle of the park. Gali dispossessed with a high challenge. Foot was raised. He was looking for the free kick. The referee not interested, and rightly so. You don't get those free kicks in the Premiership. Anywhere else in the world, probably yes. And Gali, he should know all about that.
He's recalled from his loan spell at Charlton recently. Leroy Leiter. Oster. Graham Murty powering ahead of him. And he'll keep this in play. Leiter's in the centre. Cross dealt with by Nyatanga. Matejowski to Oster. Away from Gali. In towards Leiter.
Once again, it's Leroy Leiter very much in evidence. He's leading the fight to Derby this afternoon. A good ball in. And Leroy Leiter shows great anticipation there, getting in front of Darren Moore with a header, but couldn't direct it on target. That's encouraging for Reading. Leroy Leiter looks very lively this afternoon.
Well, it's a long time since he scored in the league for Reading, Leroy Lita, February 2007. Got a couple at Manchester City. Ingemarson with the clearance there. Tyrone Mears will take the throw for Derby. All Reading can do is concentrate on getting the result here. Miller. And Hunt with the challenge on Mears. Garley. Away by Dubry. And it's a foul by Moore on Lita. Got his hands full today, it would appear, Darren Moore. Foster back to Murty. Matejovski, what a run! Matejovski across goal.
Well, certainly the movement off the ball from the Reading players are causing problems to Derby. An earlier run from Murty didn't come to anything this time. Stoyotski finds space. Probably the effort could have been a bit better. I thought he was caught in between actually shooting across to Roy Carroll's far post and looking for a teammate at the far post.
Well, Marek Matejovski scored his one and only goal at Anfield. A cracker it was. Well, that one would have meant far more if he'd found the bottom corner.
Just needed a little bit more composure, having got himself into a good position.
Shorey. Well, that's asking a lot of Lita. He's full of running, but he's not that quick. But he has had one good chance, Trevor.
Yes, it's an excellent ball that Lita actually gets to it first there. He just tries to touch it around Carroll, but Carroll goes down at his feet and makes the all-important stop. Excellent keeping from Roy Carroll. He was quick to come off his line to recognise the danger from Leroy Lita.
Miller. Dubry's header. Matejovski out to Kitson. He tried to play it through quickly. They're keen to use the pace of Lita through the centre here. Garley out to Lewis. Lewis caught by Oster, who was then fouled by the American. Free kick to Reading. The referee wants to speak to Eddie Lewis here. I knew what he was doing there.
Well, it was quite cynical, wasn't it, from Eddie Lewis, and on another day could easily have gone in the book.
Murty with the free kick towards Ingemarson. Well, he and Lita jumped for the same ball, really. Roy Carroll here, just one clean sheet since joining from Rangers. And Reading will certainly be hoping he doesn't get a clean sheet today. At the other end, Hanneman, well, he hasn't missed a league game for 4 years. This is his 250th league appearance for Reading. Very much loved by the Royals fans. Foul by Kitson. It's a sign of Reading's problems in front of goal. His recent record, just one goal in the last 16, and he's still the top scorer for Reading. Away by Ingemarson. Lewis. You can sense the anxiety amongst the Reading fans every time the ball goes near Marcus Hanneman's penalty area. Calmly done by Nightingale. Stijovski. Left by Miller, but the referee's given the free kick Derby's way.
Once again, Ingemar Martin can consider himself very fortunate. Mike Riley very lenient this afternoon. Quite clearly that was a deliberate handball.
That's ironic because he's dished out more yellow cards than any other Premier League referee this season. 101 of them in 28 games. Lewis up towards Moore on the far post. Oster will clear this one. Up to Lita. Challenged by Savage. Another free kick. Lita offside this time. I think he thinks that one was close.
Well, it was close, but Derby held a good line there and the assistant referee was quite correct.
And it's a Derby ball. Moore. Stijovski. Now Oster for Reading. Matejovski pokes it past Gali. He's got options here. This is Leroy Lita. Just delayed the shot. Allowed Mears to come back at him.
Well, it's Leroy Lita's third chance of the game, and this is the best of all. His first touch isn't great, and he allows Mears to come back and make the challenge. Golden opportunity spurned by Leroy Lita.
Well, Lita's won it back again brilliantly. Oster through for Kitson. Oh, now Harper had to go! Oh, what a goal! What a moment to score a goal like that! Reading's 9-hour goal drought has ended. Their 11th hour survival bid has begun.
Well, the goal's been coming. There's been 15 minutes of total domination from Reading. They've wasted 4 or 5 good situations. On this occasion, the finish from Harper was quite exquisite. Kitson could have shot. He's unselfish, lays it off to Harper, comes back on his left foot, curls it around Carroll into the far corner. He takes aim, knows exactly what he wants to do. Quite deliberate and a quite brilliant finish from Harper. Reading take a deserved lead.
Well, James Harper has started every single Premier League match this season. That is his 6th of the campaign, scored against Derby in a 5-0 win 2 years ago. Paul Jewell finds his side behind once again. Reading strike first, just as they had to. Inside the opening quarter of an hour. What a fabulous strike that was.
Well, as the ball was played into Kitson, I thought he had himself a yard there to actually hit that ball. As we leave it there for a second.
Surely into Lita and it hits him really.
I was about to say, I thought Kitson may have taken the shot himself, but he unselfishly laid it off to Harper. And it was proved to be the correct decision because Harper finished quite splendidly.
And the Reading supporters in fine voice in the East Midlands sunshine. Kitson charges that ball down into Lita. He's onside, and again he can't find the net.
Well, how many chances does Lita want to score a goal? 17 minutes on the clock. They get lucky here, but Kitson plays it into Lita. Once again, he wants far too much time on the ball, giving Lewis the chance to dispossess him. Another glorious opportunity for Leroy Lita. He could so easily have had a hat-trick.
Well, the game could be over almost, couldn't it? The chances Reading have had in this opening 16-17 minutes. Shorey. I wonder if Nicky Shorey will remain a Reading player. And the subject of interest in other Premier League clubs, of course. Here's the goal scorer, Harper. Straight to Ghali. This is Jones. Ghali to Lewis. And do Derby have a response? Lewis, Scholl, Moore, very short.
Well, it was good pressing from Ulster, forcing Lewis to play the ball horizontally. Never a good idea, putting Darren Moore under pressure. Kitson was quick to respond with a good slide challenge.
Well, he's had his chances, hasn't he?
Well, he's well picked up there from Matejowski, and you can see he gets the ball stuck under his foot. Mears comes in with a chance. Absolutely nothing wrong with this. This is quite clinical, isn't it? Lewis can't get tight on him, giving Harper the chance to bend the ball with his left foot around Carroll.
Hunt. Moore gets it away from Lita this time. Mears with the clearance. Back in by Ingemarson. Carroll played in both legs of Wigan's Division 2 playoff against Reading back in 2001. That was under Paul Jewell, of course. Miller trying to get him around the back of Dewberry. Oster. Murty. Harper. Again, Lita makes a very good run here. Shorey to Lita. Darren Moore holds him off this time. We'll glance at the referee from Lita.
Well, the strength of Darren Moore was very much in evidence there. Lita tried to allow this ball to run across his body. Darren Moore, using his upper body strength and his sheer physical presence, was just too much for Lita.
Foul by Villa. And those Reading fans will be put through the mill today. But they've been unceasing in their support so far. Kitson got his head to the ball. Lita couldn't keep it in. Now you can see the supporters have got their radios on to hear what's happening elsewhere. Hunt. Put in by Mears, but this is Harper. Back to Ingemarson. Shorey to Hunt. On for Kitson. Can't get past Moore. Nyatanga clears. Straight to Hunt again. Reading continuing to press. Put in there from Savage. It's on by Villa. Away by Shorey. Mears. Villa. Harper can't prevent the cross coming in. Ingemarson stretches. One back by Ghali. Mears. Anxious moments these. And Kenny Miller couldn't reach the ball. Hanneman clears the danger. It's a good throw out to Oster. Lita. Harper to Murty. Now Matejovski. That was a loose one. Ghali. Neatly done over the top by Stojovski.
Kenny Miller's complaining because he's tried to spin in behind Dubry. He was definitely blocked off. Mike Riley had his eye on the ball. Didn't see the challenge coming in, or the illegal challenge I should say.
Steve Coppell said in his press conference, there are no half measures, we have to go for it. The side have certainly done that. Certainly less committal when asked if he'd still be around as Reading manager next season. I think a lot could depend on what happens here today. In by Murty, up towards Hunt. Important clearance there from Tyrone Mears. Free kick goes Reading's way. Murty did well under pressure there. Out to John Oster. Now Matejovski away from Savage. Was he held back there? The referee played on, but it was surely a pullback by Robbie Savage.
It would have been interesting if he had gone to ground, because clearly he got ghost side of Savage. There was a definite tug of the shirt from Robbie Savage. There you see Matejovski going into the box. It was actually fouled outside the box. It clearly was a foul.
Villa, away by Dubry. Now the industrious Hunt. Lita. Oh, he's done well there, hasn't he? Needs some support. Shorey. No one to cross to. Shorey just making that point that there really wasn't anyone to pick out in the box. Oh, foul throw from Nicky Shorey. Not the game to be doing that. Ingemarsen's header up to Lita. Stopped by Mears. Villa. He and Jones in each other's way. Oster.
Well, poor Joe will be bitterly disappointed with his first half showing, and it's a game where Reading, already one goal to the good, can really take advantage of this Derby performance. They've had so many chances, the game really could have been out of sight by now. They continue to dominate. What they're doing so much better than the home side is they're passing the ball regularly to a colleague, keeping possession, which is absolutely imperative on a day like this. I can't stress enough how hot it is out there this afternoon.
Here's Mears. Poor touch from Mile Stejovski. Reading will be quite happy. Derby giving the ball away so cheaply. The only frustration really for Reading is that it's only 1-0. Forward by Hunt, Lita is offside again. Reading have lost 8 of their last 9 away games, and their fans will be taking nothing for granted here at just 1-0. Ingemarson straight to Savage, and Villa will chase, and he's pulled the shirt of Michael Duberry. Frustration for the Argentine, but I think it's the right decision.
The assistant referee was so close to the action there. I think I'm right in saying he didn't raise his flag. You see both of them going for it. I don't see too much wrong with that, I really don't.
Shorey. That's a foul by Stejovski. The referee not happy because Villa wouldn't get back the 10 yards. Ingemarson forward here, as is Duberry. Can Mickey Shorey get the delivery right here? And here comes Roy Carroll. He was clattered by Duberry and fell very awkwardly. It looked painful, didn't it?
Well, the ball from Shorey was always going to be a little bit too close to the keeper, forcing him to come over the top of the defender, and that's a nasty fall, isn't it? Takes it nice and cleanly, Roy Carroll, but as he drops, I don't think there's any fault of any player. He doesn't actually make contact with either his own players or the opposition. I just think it was the fall. It was a heavy one for Roy Carroll, and has caused the problem.
And here's the goal again, Trevor. It's definitely worth another look, isn't it?
Well, the moment he comes inside Lewis, there's a good 3 or 4 yards of space. Eddie Lewis is not a regular fullback. Probably should have got tighter, but it gave the opportunity for Harper to measure exactly where he wanted to put that ball. Looked up, saw where the corner was, bent it around Carroll. It was a great piece of technical skill from Harper, and a glorious finish that Reading had fully deserved after dominating the opening exchanges.
Well, Carroll back on his feet, as you can see. He's a tough character. Powerful header there from Ingemarson. Won by Villa.
Once again, the Derby attack offer absolutely no threat for the home side. They haven't created one worthwhile opening. There hasn't been a cross that's troubled Hanneman. They've been very, very poor going forward, and it's been reasonably comfortable for Reading playing away from home in such a crucial game as this.
Murty. Lita slipped. Mears with the header. Had Stephen Hunt behind him, had to be careful there. Lewis. Dubry's clearances straight to Kenny Miller. Away from Marek Matejowski. And Murty. Across comes Dubry. Matejowski. Forward by Murty. Well, news coming through from other games. A lot of anxiety amongst the 3,500 travelling supporters. Now the referee, what's he going to give here? He's going to give the free kick, isn't he, to Reading? He's going to. Leroy Lita can't believe it.
Leroy Lita has claimed that he was fouled by Roy Carroll and he was asking for the penalty. He actually gets there first, doesn't he? Nudges it away from Carroll. Goes to ground. Was there contact? Obviously Mike Riley didn't think so. I think Roy Carroll pulled out just in the nick of time.
Well, news of David Murphy's goal for Birmingham against Blackburn, finding its way out onto the terraces. And Reading fans will be more interested in what's going on at Fratton Park, of course. Mears to Villa. Mears up to Miller this time. Garley. Miller again. Pressure from Dubry and took his eye off the ball. Possession conceded again. Just totally lost the ball. Looked like it could have been a push in the back there by Dubry on Jones. Referee plays on. Oster. Straight to Lewis, but Kitson in quickly. You can see Reading want this. Who's ringing out from the home support. Reading finding it all a little too easy at the moment. Savage loses the ball this time. Oster to Matejowski. The fit in from Nyatanga was enough. Stejovski looking for Kenny Miller. Villa in the centre. As is Savage far post. And slip by Oster. This is Hossam Ghali. Lifted in towards Villa. Hanneman, calmly done. Plucks it out of the air with that big left hand. Lewis. Foul by Lita. Just a little over enthusiastic to get the ball back there. Well, Paul Jewell knows exactly what Steve Coppell's going through. Of course, as Wigan manager, he had to win on the last day of last season to stay up, which he successfully did, and and then left the club. We are staying up is the cry from those supporters. There's a long way to go before they can say that confidently. Steve Coppell making a few notes for half-time. On by Kitson. Lita just blocked off by Moore. Hunt. He hasn't really managed to get the better of Tyrone Mears so far. Ghali. Stayovski. Throw to Reading. Kitson. Hunt. Shorey. Matejovski moves clear of Hossam Ghali. Oster. Lewis, very important header. Harper. Reading looking threatening again here. Oster's ball in. Mears sweeps it away. Jones to Savage. Well, that was the idea. Murty was in quickly.
Just repeating what I said earlier on, this performance will not please Paul Jewell. His side really lacking in energy. There's no great desire from them, as you'd expect. All the energy, all the passion, all the aggression is coming from Reading. Derby have had very little to offer.
Lita moves clear of Mears and then slips as he was about to play the shot in. And here's David Jones. Miller back to Mears. There really hasn't been very much for the Derby fans to shout about here. Some ironic cheers as they're given a free kick from referee Mike Riley. Matejovski's challenge. Jones wants to shoot and does, and Hanneman saves. Corner.
Well, finally the Derby fans have had something to cheer about. Good shot from 30 yards coming in from Jones, asking a question from Hanneman. He had to make the save. Turns it around the post.
And it leads to the first corner of the match. Lewis. Villa with the header. Couldn't keep that one down, but Hanneman forced into action really for the first time.
Good save from Hanneman. One you would expect him to make, but he's been redundant all afternoon. No suggestion, of course, of him being cold. It was a boiling hot afternoon, as we mentioned on numerous occasions, but it was still a good save.
Hunt. Well, Kitson tried something acrobatic, but the referee has given foot up.
Can you imagine if this attempt from Kitson had nestled into the back of the net and Mike Riley had disallowed that? I think that's a harsh decision, I really do, from the referee. He wasn't particularly high, the foot, when he tried that attempt on goal.
Well, after that little melee, free kick to Derby. Ghali, Jones, Villa, Stayovski. Better from Derby. Shot charged down by Harper. Comes to Lewis. Plenty of white shirts up here. Miller's one of them.
Well, sure, he's not the biggest, and he knew he had a problem there. Miller coming in over the top of him, wins the header, but can't get sufficient power on it.
Kitson. Calmly done from Lewin Nyatanga. Header from Dubry. Shorey. Nyatanga's there again, ahead of Lita. Shorey. Harper. 1-0 and you're going down is the cry from the home supporters. Another rousing rendition of "We Are Staying Up" from the travelling fans. They've certainly given it everything in this first half. Oh, that header from Ghali straight to Hunt. Now through for Kitson. Here comes Carroll again. And he was alert again.
Good opportunity, really wasted from Reading. The pass from Hunt was too close to Carroll. Should have been a better pass, giving Leroy Lita the chance to stroke it past the keeper.
And while it remains 1-0, anxieties will remain for Reading. Not a side high on confidence, obviously. Villa, Jones. Moves clear of Matajowski. Out to Lewis now. 4 white shirts in the middle here. Can Lewis get the cross in? Straight to Hanneman. A long way back to left back after that buccaneering run.
Well, it's an understatement to say that Reading deserved to be leading at half-time. But the worry for Steve Coppell must be that surely he must recognise that Derby can't play as badly as this in the second half. There must be an improvement from the home side.
Savage. Oh, that's a poor through ball from the Welshman. Marcus Hanneman's not complaining. Must have felt a little bit like a target at a coconut shy this season, Marcus Hanneman. Murty. Lita up against Moore once again. Put in from Moore.
That's been their outlet in the first half of Reading. Kitson's come short. Leroy Lita has been very unselfish in his running in the channels, both sides. He's been the one that's been the top striker for Reading. Only thing lacking from his performance is his finishing, because he's been very, very good apart from that.
Oster through for Murty. Drills it across goal. Just a little bit of adrenaline there from the skipper. 2 minutes of stoppage time signalled. The fourth official, Mark Halsey. Steve Coppell down from the director's box. Dubry. Moore's header. This is Hunt. Kitson. Back to Hunt again. Oh, no one on the far post.
Well, the ball came a little bit too early for Oster to adjust his position. He really should be looking to come in at that back post.
Jones, beautiful run. Toe pokes it away from Hunt. And still urged to shoot is Jones. This one is much easier for Hanneman. Immediately looks for John Oster. Kitson. Forward by Murty. Nyatanga will meet that. Well, there's the half-time whistle. So far, so good for Reading. What a stunning goal it was from James Harper, his 6th goal of the season. And those fans have been rewarded for their tremendous support throughout that first half. They lead 1-0. There's still 45 minutes to go. And events elsewhere will have a big say on what happens to Reading. They've done all they can in the first half. Leroy Lita will possibly reflect on some missed opportunities which would have made the scoreline even more emphatic. And their goal drought is over. Half-time at Pride Park. Derby County 0, Reading 1.
So secure since I saw you taking a breath. What have I done? Now you're hiding. What have I done? Pressed to turn him on. So
mix fragrances 1 and 2 and create new links 3.
Experience the awe and the passion that nature commands. Discover a stunning selection of programs and films based on our theme for May, Planet Earth, Live or Let Die. On Vision TV, David Attenborough narrates the astonishing Blue Planet.
It's a dark, dangerous world.
It's hard and it's hostile, and from now on, it gets serious.
Michael Palin in Sahara and the spectacular Planet Earth.
This may be a glimpse of the unstable future faced by this magnificent creature.
Alan Titchmarsh reveals his passion for the British Isles.
We live in an amazing place.
The forces of nature rip and roar through a fantastic lineup on Vision Film.
You're just living, man.
oh, you're fighting us.
Sean Penn directs the Oscar-nominated Into the Wild. Nothing on earth can prepare you for Armageddon.
They're coming!
The horror of the invasion.
Mom! No one touches my child!
The will to survive in the perfect storm. Planet Earth. Live or let die. Discover this new category in Vision TV and in Vision Film.
We just have to make those nightmares go away again.
Welcome back to the sunny East Midlands, where, as you can see, Derby are making a couple of changes for the start of the second half. Mark Edworthy will move into the right-back position, with Tyrone Mears moving further forward, and Benny Feilhaber comes into the midfield to replace Robbie Savage. No changes for Reading. Well, Reading have won 9 of the last 12 matches when they've scored the first goal. They have to win this one, and with the scorelines as they are at the start of the second half, Reading would stay up. There's 45 minutes of drama left. Paul Jewell making a couple of changes, try and freshen things up. Trevor, his side are very disappointing in the first half.
Well, it's no surprise that Paul has made those 2 changes. I'm sure he would like to have made a few more. But with another 45 minutes to go, he couldn't risk making any more than 2. It's a long time, 45 minutes to go through without receiving any further injuries. And of course, fatigue's going to play a part, because players haven't experienced temperatures like this for a long, long time.
Moore's header straight to Hunt, into Kitson. He's tried to flick it towards Lita. This is Matejovski. Shorey. Away by Moore. Shorey again. Gets it back from Stephen Hunt. Edworthy heads away. Well, Reading have started with the same determination, forward by Murty. There's the goal scorer, Harper. Shorey. Well, he's hit that one over Hunt, and Edworthy smashes it down the line. Another play by Ingemarson. Villa. Forward by Ghali up towards File Harbour. And this is Oster. He's looking for Leroy Lita. And Darren Moore has got the captain's armband now from Robbie Savage and looking to tighten things up against Leroy Lita. Steve Coppell now in the dugout for the second half. Insisting he won't be keeping track of the other games, but invariably the news will filter through to him. Forward by Nicky Shorey. Lita was clattered by Mark Edworthy and he stayed down.
Well, it was Nyatanga who was getting tight on Lita, but I think it's Edworthy who actually clashes with him, runs straight into him.
Well, a bit dazed and confused, but otherwise unharmed. And Mark Edworthy making an early impression after coming on at half-time. Paul Jewell looking to repay the wonderful support he's had since arriving here with promotion next season. As Lita makes his way back onto the field. Ingemarson's header. Forward though by Moore for Derby. Up to Villa. Lewis. Away by Murty. Neither side able to keep the ball. Shorey to Hunt. Well, straight through to the goalkeeper. And Derby have had very little joy with those long balls through the centre. Dubry and Ingemarson have dealt with all of them. Well, there's the Reading chairman, John Medeski, now in his 19th season as the owner of Reading Football Club. Kitson. Moore with the back pass. Carroll's hit it straight to Hunt. And he's pulled the shirt of Edworthy. Roy Carroll just got a little bit fortunate there.
He did, because the first touch of Stephen Hunt wasn't a particularly good one. Should have taken it away from him. All he did was give Edworthy a chance to make the challenge.
Well, more good news filtering through to the earpieces of the Reading supporters. An equaliser for Blackburn at St Andrews. Reading the only one of the 3 relegation contenders in front in their game. There's the cross from Mears towards Feilhaber.
It's a deep cross, this, from the right hand side from Mears, and Feilhaber attacks the ball, gets up above Murty, and for one moment it looks as if it just might loop underneath the crossbar, beating Hanneman.
Very much out of favour since Paul Jewell arrived. Benny Feilhaber, it's only his second sub appearance in 20 games. American international. Via out to Edworthy. Garley lets it run through for Jones. Miller. Feilhaber out to Lewis. Feilhaber nipped the ball away from Murty. Here's Jones. Looking for handball against Murty, but he had his hand right by his side. Looking to make an impression. £1 million signing from Hamburg last summer. And was this handball, Trevor?
Well, it clearly struck the arm of Murty, whether it was intentional. Obviously Mike Riley didn't think so, but there were enough appeals from the Derby supporters.
Dilbury's header. It's a decent spell this for Derby. Lewis with the throw. Feilhaber. Lewis again, but Marcus Hanneman on the near post deals with that one. It's agony for the Reading supporters. Their goal now at the opposite end of the field. Second goal would really help calm the nerves. Lita. Back pass by Moore. Miller. Feilhaber straight to Harper. Now Hunt. Lita. Oh, the layoff by Lita was straight to Tyrone Mears. Reading their own worst enemies at the moment.
Great situation wasted by Reading, because Hunt followed his pass. All it needed was Lita to get a hold of it and play Hunt back into possession. They had a classic 2-on-1 situation that they didn't really exploit.
Matejowski, Harper. Composure needed in these critical situations. It's Oster's through ball, straight through to the keeper again.
It was a little bit too straight, wasn't it, the ball from Oster? Lita had a lot of success in the first half, bending his runs into wide areas, into the channels. At the moment, he's looking to play a little bit too central.
Well, you can see the agony on the faces of those Reading supporters. fragile lead. Header from Moore. Oster. Feilhaber prevents him getting the cross in. This is Lewis. Dubry's header. And Matejovski all the way back to Hanneman. Nyatanga thought about the back pass. Roy Carroll helped him out. Lewis. Away by Murty. On neither side able to string together 2 or 3 passes at all at the moment. That's a foul by Harper. Free kick to Derby.
Lewis just waiting before he takes his free kick, waiting for big Darren Moore to get into an attacking position, to lend his height to the attack.
And Nyatanga joining Moore on the edge of the penalty area here. And Lewis's delivery. And Miller with the flick, wasn't it?
Well, it was a poor delivery from Lewis, and Miller tried to turn a bad ball into a decent one with that little flick. But all he succeeded in doing was flicking it through for a goal kick.
Well, they don't want their 2-season stay in the Barclays Premier League to come to an end here today. Flick on by Kitson. Rita putting the pressure on Lewis. It's a Reading throw. There's Murty thinking about a longer throw here. No, he takes it short to Oster. And the layoff, not what he was looking for. His 250th career league appearance today, John Oster. And looking through his records, just 2 Premier League goals in his entire career. Steve Coppell's assistant Kevin Dillon stoked things up this week. He said if we can't beat Derby, we deserve to go down. And Paul Jewell did not like that one bit. Accused Kevin Dillon of showing disrespect to Derby County. Kitson with the flick. Hunt couldn't keep it in play. A lot of nerves in Reading's play in this second half.
Yeah, they're still having more of the possession, but not quite the domination as they did in the first half. But the biggest difference in the second half is that Reading have been unable to create any worthwhile chances. In the first half, I lost count of the chances they had.
Kitson, through for Lita, onside. Forced wide, Oster's in the centre here, as is Hunt. It's still Lita. And it's blocked. It comes to Murty. Hunt again. Well, Derby got bodies back. Matejovski to Hunt. Too high. That was an opportunity. Lita delayed playing the ball in. Reading will have a free kick here.
Well, despite the fact that they're a goal to the good, they realise that it's not quite enough. They've sent the 2 big centre-halves forward, Dubry and Ingemarson.
Feverish support from the travelling fans who've made the trip from Berkshire. Hunt plays it short. Shorey, shooting chance! Spilled by the goalkeeper, Lita, chance for Kitson! 2-0 to Reading! And look at the joy on the faces of those supporters! Could it be salvation?
Enormous credit must go to Steve Coppell, Wally Downs and Kevin Dillon, the coaching staff at Reading, because they've come up with a free kick which has really caught out Derby. Everyone anticipating the ball played into the box. When it was played square from Hunt, Shorey takes possession, two-touch, drives it on goal. Carroll makes the save. Lita turns it back across the goal. Kitson follows it in, slides in with his left foot to have the easiest of tasks of putting the ball into the unguarded net. That's the goal they wanted. Reading are firmly in the driving seat with this second goal.
Well, Dave Kitson's 10th of the season, and after that run of just one goal in 16 games, he could hardly miss from half a yard and an empty net. His 4th game against Derby and his first goal against them, and a timely strike. Well, you'd never know the emotion Steve Coppell is feeling, would you? His expression never changes. And supporters know they are seeing their side do all they can. They still have to worry about what's happening on the south coast.
Well, this goal is going to filter around the other grounds, and that, for the supporters of Fulham and Birmingham, it's going to be a real hammer blow.
Lita. Kitson's in the middle here. Now, did he keep that in, Lita? He did. The cross was blocked. This is David Jones for Derby. All the way through to Mears. Both strikers ahead of him. This is Garley. Jones couldn't poke it through to Miller. Here's Kitson. Through for Hunt. Now the flag stays down. Carroll comes miles out of his area, and it was a good decision.
It was, because I don't know where the Derby back four went. They pushed up. Hunt was clear, but Carroll, he read the danger, and he was off his line like a flash.
Well, Derby are going to make a third change here. Emmanuel Villa is coming off, and it's a young man, just 18 years of age. Paris Simmons is going to be coming on. He's got 13 goals for the under-18s this season. Paris Simmons, he's just been offered a one-year professional contract for next season. And the Derby fans will get their first glimpse of him in the first team. And you can understand Paul Jewell throwing on a young kid with nothing to lose. Well, with this result, if it stays, Derby will statistically be the worst top-flight side ever. They had to win today to avoid that tag. Feilhaber up towards Moore, and he's been pulling the shirt as the ball goes into the net. The free kick's given against Moore.
There was a clash there between a couple of heavyweights, Dewberry and Moore. Big Darren Moore right in front of the linesman, who immediately raised his flag. He's guilty of pulling the shirt of Dewberry, trying to get himself into a position where he can head that ball. You see the flag immediately goes up.
And poor Paris Simmons, who tucked the ball into the net with his first touch, is denied a goal. And it's that man's goal which could prove to be so vital for the Royals. The problem for Reading, of course, is after they lost at home to Spurs last week, it's taken out of their hands, and if Fulham do score at Fratton Park, a win here, no matter how emphatic, just won't be enough. Well, more news filtering through to those Pompey fans. We are staying up the cry once again. Sometimes the information that comes through isn't always accurate, of course. Dubry's header up to Kitson. Cleared by Nyatanga. Well, here comes Kevin Doyle. He must have been so disappointed to be dropped for this game. And he is going to replace Dave Kitson, who took a knock just now, but he's played his part with that vital tap-in. This goal, Trevor.
Lita does well to follow it in, but also Kitson does well because he doesn't give it up. Across the goal, past Carroll. The cross from Lita straight into the path of Kitson, and yet the eases of opportunities.
Miller. Three to look for here. Mears can't turn away from Nicky Shorey. Went to ground rather easily. It's just a throw to Derby. Cleared by Shorey, who was then caught late by Mark Edworthy, the veteran. 35 years of age, his contract's up in the summer. Here's Hunt. He and Austria swap sides. And he's carried the ball too far, Stephen Hunt. And Dave Kitson sitting on the bench. And this is why he's gone off, Trevor.
Well, that's a nasty fall there on his ankle. Probably done a little bit of damage to his ligaments. But he's done his job. Got the second goal. That should be enough. Never quite tell in football, of course. Stranger things have happened. But they've got an able replacement in Kevin Doyle.
And we're past the midway point of the second half, and this is Doyle stealing the ball from Nyatanga. Still Doyle, through for Lita. Oh, Edworthy with an important block. Matejovski! Well, it's 3-0. Did Doyle get the final touch there? Reading have got the points, that's for sure. They've done as much as they can.
Well, the shirt's off, but Kevin Doyle's not too interested. He's prepared to take a yellow card. He knows that that goal has been so important for Reading. If the second wasn't quite enough, surely the third has clinched it. Ball played across, Edworthy gets a block in it. In comes Doyle, he's actually on the floor, but he hooks the ball with his left foot past Carroll. Terrific play from Doyle, he stays alive despite the challenge coming in of Darren Moore. There you see the left foot, off the far post, rose into the back of the net, into the back of the goal I should say. And the celebrations from Kevin Doyle have begun.
Well, no goals in his last 20 appearances, and you can understand that feeling of relief. The frustration is over for the Irishman. His last goal at the start of December against Liverpool. And he was, of course, booked for taking his shirt off. He'll happily take the yellow card in the circumstances. Derby 0, Reading 3. Kevin Doyle the scorer of the third. Well, there's no question. Now, Reading have won this game. The question is, what happens elsewhere now? The news will have filtered down to Fratton Park. Fulham have to win to stay up. Shorey. Well, he pulled it back behind everyone. Feilhaber. On for Simmons. Ghali. Away by Dubry. Feilhaber. Oh, is that a free kick? The referee's blown. Ghali takes it quickly. Out to Miller. Into Mears!
Good play from Ghali. Took the early free kick, trying to catch out Reading. They weren't prepared for it. Miller gets it under control eventually, onto his left foot. Good ball into Mears from 12 yards out. Can't direct his header on target. There have been very few opportunities in the game for Derby. That will go down as one of them.
He scored recently against his old club West Ham. But it's all about Reading now, isn't it? And what happens in the match between Portsmouth and Fulham. As things stand, Reading is safe. I noticed the bookmakers couldn't really separate Fulham and Reading as to who would go down, because Fulham had a much harder game on paper, even though they started the day with the extra points. Matejovski. Hunt. Hunt gets it back from Oster. Harper. His wonder goal settled the nerves early on here. Shorey. Oster. Harper. Reading enjoying themselves here, just keeping the ball, frustrating Derby, ensuring the points are safe.
They're doing exactly the right thing. Very hot conditions. Derby 3-0 down, demoralised. They won't relish the last few minutes having to run around trying to win the ball back.
Shorey. Headed back by Lewis.
Well, I've never heard this home crowd here at Pride Park so disappointed with their heroes. Number of players being roundly booed every time they take possession. It's been such a disappointing performance for the last day of the season.
Feilhaber's cross away by Dubry. Lewis. Derby fans surely deserve at least a goal to cheer. You can imagine just how different the Derby lineup will be on the opening day of next season. Poor ball from Aaron Moore this time. Oh, how proud must Steve Coppell be of his players today. On the back of 6 games without a goal, just 2 points in that time. And they've produced an outstanding away day performance here. What a moment that was for Kevin Doyle. His first touch set up the move, and he gleefully tucked the ball into the corner. Dubry. Doyle. Looking to flick on for Lita there. I'm sure Leroy Lita is wondering how he hasn't got on the score sheet today. I would wonder if he'd be ruining those missed opportunities from the first half, but so far his teammates have bailed him out. 3-0. And how much those supporters are enjoying their afternoon so far. Doyle. Challenge from Ghali. Referee plays advantage. It's Harper. Saved by Carroll. Could have been 4.
Excellent refereeing from Mike Riley. Kevin Doyle clearly fouled and loaded the advantage. Realised that Harper was in a good goal scoring position. And Carroll made an excellent save at the near post.
Well, news filtering through that Fulham have taken the lead at Portsmouth, and it all changes again. So the situation changes once again for Reading. There's nothing they can do here. Matejovski. Hunt, back to Matejovski again. It's Simmons who's back there defending. Poor clearance, straight to Oster. Derby so often authors of their own misfortune. Well, the Derby fans are enjoying this moment, seeing the despair on the faces of Reading fans. So as it stands, Fulham stay up at Reading's expense. All 3 of the sides battling for this place are in front. Ghali, Feilhaber. Mears to Lewis. Jones. Mears. Well, it breaks down. Oster for Reading. Shorey. Well, news of the goal that Fulham have scored will surely filter through to the Reading players. Anxiety and despair. The look on the face of that boy says it all, doesn't it? Final day drama rarely fails to disappoint. Ecstasy one moment, agony the next. Oster to Harper. Away by Lewis. Well, what happens on this field is almost irrelevant from here on in. Reading fans just have to hope and pray for a Portsmouth equaliser. And 3 points here are surely secure. Ghali has fouled Doyle. Oster. Lita. Chance to run up more here. Fancies a goal himself, and Moore blocks his shot. Ghali looks to play Miller through, away by Dubry. Murty pulled over by Benny Feilhaber. He won't be allowed to get away with that, the American. I'm sure you have to feel for what these supporters are going through.
Well, they've done their bit this afternoon. No more could have been asked of the Reading supporters. They've taken the full allocation of tickets, as you would expect. They've got behind the team from the moment they got in the stadium around 2:30, and they've supported them right throughout this game. They've been rewarded with a terrific Reading performance against a very poor Derby side, it has to be said. But it may be to no avail, because the news really has demoralised the Reading supporters that Fulham have taken the lead at Portsmouth.
Oster, Hunt, Murty. Not a man that regularly finds the score sheets. Graham Murty, just one goal in his last 285 appearances. And Steve Coppell's side could scarcely have done any more today. And neither could they. And there could be more twists and turns in the time that remains. Miller. I think what makes it more galling for the Reading fans is that they clearly felt they had information that Portsmouth had scored earlier, which was wrong. And Reading about to make another change, but there'll be a Derby County free kick first. Jones, Moore! What a chance.
Great ball. Moore misses it through the legs of Ingemarson. Must have got a touch, Ingemarson, because the referee's given a corner.
So Marek Matejovski will come off here, and Khalifa Cisse, the Malian, will come on. Applause for Matejovski from the Reading fans, despite the negative emotions they must be feeling. Cisse comes on in his place. And a rare corner in this game. And Jones thrashes it over the bar.
Well, that was a well-worked corner from Fellharbour. Didn't put it into the box. Picked out Jones. Never an easy ball to hit, but on his left foot, Jones probably should have done better with his attempt.
Oh, they're just hoping and praying for some good news from events 190 miles away from here. Miller, Feilhaber, Lewis, Garley, Edworthy slips, Mears. Derby continuing to toil away, as they have done for most of the season. And it's agony for these supporters. Hunt, Harper, Lita. Oh, he's fouled his man, Naratanga. Another change here for Reading. Well, James Harper, who scored the first goal here, is the man that's going to be coming off. And you can see the players know. Andre Biquet is going to be coming on. He's been playing in midfield the last few games. It's the burly Cameroonian. Before today, he was the last Reading player to score. Jones. Edworthy. Mears. Now Simmons onside here, the young man, and he's played the ball straight to Hunt. Lita for Reading. Well, the way things stand, this will be a championship fixture next season. Murty. And Lewis prevents Stephen Hunt from getting there. Well, one man on the radio, and the young man next to him seems to be saying his prayers. Shorey. Harris Simmons is holding him up. Ingemarson. Oster. Hunt. Murty to Hunt. Lewis gets it away. BK wins it back after good work from Khalifa Cisse. Shorey. Doyle with a little flick. Oster!
Tired effort there from John Oster.
Well, there could be some tears on the way home to Berkshire as things stand. Well, how quickly it's changed for those Royal supporters. The celebrations after each of the 3 goals, they really felt they were going to do it. An emphatic victory here. Looks like it's not going to be enough.
Special safety announcement. Can I please remind all fans to stay in their seats at the end of the game, please. And
Moving towards stoppage time here. Mears. Well, Derby had already ensured they were going to get the lowest points tally in the Premier League history. And the worst defence as well in a 38-game season. And it looks like they're going to set the record for fewest goals as well. They needed to get 2 to avoid equalling Sunderland's unwanted record. Doyle. Lovely run by Doyle, it's brilliantly done. Oster. And he goes over. No penalty. All academic at this stage as we move into stoppage time. Hunt. 3 in the middle, but Lewis won't let him get the cross in. Shorey. Dubry. BK. Doyle to Ostap, looks to return it to Kevin Doyle. Lita's in the centre. Nalitanga blocks the first cross. This is Hunt. Lita! Goal! 4-0 to Reading. Leroy Lita at last gets on the score sheet.
If ever a player deserved a goal, it was Leroy Lita. Literally from the first to the 90th minute, he's run his heart out for the Coles, missed numerous chances, kept going, finally gets his reward, dives in at the near post. Good header, right into the roof of the net. Good little ball in from Hunt, but he gets on the end of it, Lita, with a diving header.
Oh, his first Premier League goal since February 2007. When will he get a chance to score another one? The fans still hoping for good news from elsewhere. Are all three teams in this relegation battle going to win on the last day? There's the full-time whistle here. It's a thumping victory for Steve Cockle's Reading. Will it be enough to keep them in the Premier League? His side could hardly have done any more. Leroy Lita with the fourth goal. The time is running out in the game at Fratton Park. The Derby fans know they'll be playing Championship football next season. The Reading supporters face an anxious wait to see if they too will be joining the Rams in the Championship. Steve Coppell's side positive here from the very outset, scoring a wonderful goal from James Harper after a quarter of an hour. Dave Kitson made it 2 on the hour mark. Doyle came off the bench to score straight away on 68 minutes. Leroy Lita made it 4 in stoppage time, but the tears of that young man tell the story. An applause for the supporters, who were quite magnificent for Reading. 3,500 of them didn't stop singing for the whole 90 minutes. But it's not enough. Reading will be back into the Championship after a 2-season stay in the Barclays Premier League. This will be a Championship fixture next season. They just left themselves with too much to do, and the moment it was taken out of their hands, they knew it would be an uphill task. Fulham survive, Reading are down. Full time at Pride Park, Derby County 0, Reading 4, but the Royals relegated.
Dramatic final day then in the Barclays Premier League. Let's take a look through the final scores. It was heartbreak at St Andrews as Birmingham beat Blackburn 4-1, but still go down to the Championship. At Stamford Bridge, a goal from Andrei Shevchenko of all people gave Chelsea the lead, but the Trotters hit back with an injury time equaliser from Kevin Davis. Reading got back to winning ways too late to save their top flight status, but their 4-0 win still takes Derby's goal difference to -69. Everton beat Newcastle 3-1 to claim 5th spot. At the Riverside, Sven-Göran Eriksson went out with a bang. His side defeated 8-1 by Borough. Among the goals there, a hat-trick from Alfonso Alves. At Fratton Park, Danny Murphy scored the goal that kept the Cottagers up. A remarkable comeback there by Roy Hodgson's team. At the Stadium of Light, it was Theo Walcott who gave Arsenal a 1-0 win. Liverpool ended their season in style with a 2-0 victory at Spurs. Voronin and Torres the scorers. That's the Spaniards' 33rd goal of the season. It ended 2-2 at Upton Park between West Ham and Aston Villa. And finally, Man United claimed their 10th Premier League title with a 2-0 victory at Wigan. Giggs and, of course, Cristiano Ronaldo the scorers, the Portuguese finishing the season with 41 goals. So, United champions once again. Chelsea's draw means they finished 2 points behind the Red Devils, Arsenal and Liverpool joining the top two in the Champions League. Everton go into the UEFA Cup. For Aston Villa, it's the Intertoto. Down at the bottom, Fulham beat the drop, despite being 6 points back with 10 games to go. Remarkable comeback that. Despite their victories, Reading and Birmingham joined Derby back in the Championship. So that's the Premier League over for another season. There's still plenty to play for though in the lower leagues, and here on BT Vision Sport you can catch up with all the playoffs, semis and finals from the Championship, League 1 and League 2. And there's loads of action too for cricket lovers as the Indian Premier League smashes its way through the summer. The IPL is available for all Setanta and Total Sports subscribers. Meanwhile, if you miss your football over the next few months, fear not, as we've got oodles of programmes to keep you entertained. There's all the official films of the World Cups from 1954 to 2002 available on demand. You can relive the greatest games and enjoy again all the superstars who've made this the beautiful game. And with FA Cup fever building, we bring you a selection of the best FA Cup finals ever, all available at the touch of a button. For more info on all of that and more, just check out our website, btvision.com/sport. Well, so much to choose from and so much more on offer, as we've also got a huge Olympic archive at your disposal.
Now, all your dreams come true in that one split moment.
It is a kind of seismic moment in any sporting career.
I dreamed of it and it happened, and dreams really do come true.
This summer in Beijing, the greatest athletes in the world will compete for the ultimate sporting triumph: Olympic gold. But you don't have to wait until summer to enjoy the magic, with over 100 hours of Olympic programming right here on BT Vision Sport. From their origins in ancient Greece to the drama and enduring memories of the modern games. Fascinating documentaries explore the birth of the Olympics in ancient Greece.
There he was, a real athlete. The physical remains of a person who actually competed in ancient games.
And the modern games, where history has been made both inside and outside the Olympic arena.
The Soviets scored and won by a single point in the last second.
Chart the road to Olympic glory of champions past and present. Our Olympic programming brings you highlights of the Sydney Games in 2000. And a chance to relive the golden moments as the Olympics came home to Athens in 2004. Plus, all the thrills and spills of the Winter Games. With so much to choose from, you can live the Olympic dream with us, right here on BT Vision Sport.
Now, next season we're going to have even more football available for you here, including the FA Cup and international matches. But in the meantime, that wraps it up for our very first season here on BT Vision Sport. I hope you've enjoyed our coverage, and we look forward to seeing you again. From all of us here, enjoy the summer and goodbye.